You know, the harsh truth of being African that I had to actually learn in the history books as I became a historian is that the western part of Africa is actually cursed because they sold their people into slavery. If you really read into slavery, you understand so much deeper into why the Western world is where it is. I mean, the Western part of Africa is the way it is. I married into a very powerful last name. And when I started doing my research on my ex husband's family's last name, I found out that his family was known as being one of the biggest slave traders and sellers. Like, that was his bloodline, that's how they made their money. And when I brought it up, he was like, oh, don't say that, don't say that. A lot of Africans don't also want to take responsibility for the fucked up shit that they did to cause the 400 years of slavery. A lot of them don't take that. And that's something that's going to always be a problem until we have that harsh conversation, which is why it's always like, it perplexes me when I see Africans have such an arrogance and think they're better than Black Americans, when I'm looking at you like, all this is the bloodline of your ignorant family members all the way back, right? But when I have these conversations, people get mad at me, but these are facts. You can go through the slave trade. It started off with Africans, Western Africans, selling off war criminals, then debtors. This is shit that if you don't read and know your history, your past, you won't know your future. But like I said, the Western African hemisphere is cursed because of the slave trade.
Tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master ice. And living the true gods. Giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
I am a bootleg internet PhD and CIA snitch here to attack FBA and help from Prime Africrats. We will take them down.
All right. Oh, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Independent Black Voice. We are here once again, live and direct. And man, the sign, this illustration on the screen is a very telling sign to where things are today. And one of the things we are talking about, the main thing we are discussing, is the cost of ignoring the Black grassroots and the new Black media. So we are here live and direct on a Saturday afternoon or evening. Oh, Super Dad is back. There was all of a sudden a gnat that just came out of nowhere. Made it on straight. Well, it's springtime again, ladies and gentlemen. I just literally been sitting here this entire time, like this entire weekend, just enjoying the spring. And as soon as I literally started this broadcast, government supernet on cue. So the 5 to 6 years of this broadcast, those who have been here long enough, there has been the notorious supernet. Throughout the years, we believe that is a government device because it never fails. Turn on the camera, out of nowhere, here it goes. It's like, okay. All right. But nonetheless, we are here on the Saturday afternoon. Hopefully everybody is doing well. Yeah, the supernet. Man, the supernet. Telling you. Because it always like clockwork. It's like you can't, there's no avoiding it. You turn your camera on, the mic fires up, and somehow activation. Here he is. live and direct on camera, ready to take away from your broadcast. Actually, I need to turn that up. So, okay. So I need to keep that bright. All right. Bright for me. All right. You said you hate bugs. You hate those bugs. Yeah, they're just annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're extremely annoying. Oh, now I know. One of my lights, I'm waiting for a replacement light right now, matter of fact. So that's why I'm like, oh, okay, what's up with the light? So I have to have this light that's in my face, not much brighter, unfortunately, but we will make it do what it does. So again, this is our first live of, I guess, pre-spring live, but it's been a solid opening to this midterm cycle, the midterm madness, if you will. And I see that we've had some people flipping out. Representing outcome. But the state of Texas race really is very telling to the state of where Democrats' relationship is with the Black community. And I would have to say one thing right off the rip says is, you know, all of the diaspora war talk that everybody brings to Black folks. See, the one thing that people don't understand is, especially about us out West, we have a lot of family in the South, a lot of family in Texas. Not everybody that knows we proclaim foundational Black Americans. Not everybody in our family might be on the internet and might be as vocally loud. However, that does not make them any less supportive or connected to what we do. You know, when I had to go to my grandmother's funeral a couple years ago, and, you know, I didn't know that my family was watching anything I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good feeling to know that, you know, what we have been able to accomplish in this Black grassroots space, that those family members, like, they do recognize what we're doing. They're like, yeah, yeah, and so it's for people to sit up here and act like just attacking us is a small thing. It's not. You attacking somebody's family member, and guess what? That's also attached to. I come from a big family, so that means that's a large contingency of voters. These are things that aren't considered because we have a lot of people who are not from the soil. And when you bank your political strategy on outsiders' information about us, you're going to lose. And so they lost. They want to find some way to kind of blame, well, Black men didn't. 80% of Black Texans. Do you know how powerful of a voting block that is? I think maybe not continuously insulting those groups might work to your benefit, because guess where the end of slavery is most recognized in this country? It's in the state of Texas. Where do you have multiple generations of Mexican Americans, not immigrants, Mexican Americans, generations? Texas. So too, wait, we also, there's another part of being among the South. I wish I had my book handy, but that is called the Bible. You are trying to go to, let me explain the Mexican American. You know how proud they are doing it the right way? So to insult them, to say, well, yeah, you guys obviously must be down with illegals, that is an insult to them and their character, because they believe that they've done things here the right way, and they're generations of citizens. They're not naturalized. They are generationally here. And watching the Democrats just willy-nilly, because all of this leadership in the Democrats has no connection to the soil. And this is the fabric of America, foundational Black America. I think maybe that should start sinking in to someone over there at the DNC, that you've invested way too much into non-foundational Black Americans, to the point to where you're witnessing the most silent, loudest revolt ever. All we are, and we tell you this all the time, we are the megaphones of the people, not independent idealists. DNC, you better be paying attention. We are not voices whistling and screaming into the wind. We speak for a large group of people. And if you can look at those numbers, that tells you that that couch vote, the one that we, right here at this Black Grassroots, have authored. Shout out to Naarmi on X, because he's came up with some brilliant slogans over the past few years, and we have to pay all asses up. How many billions of dollars do you want to spend ignoring these fine Black men and women that actually do have the pulse of our community? You want to keep pushing outsiders, you go right on ahead. But Fat Joe don't get no push over here. Nobody in my family's listening and taking any lessons from Fat Joe or Cardi B. And then you got to throw a bunch of other women who don't like themselves so much that they've mutilated their faces and present them in front of us and say, listen to these Black women, the ones that don't even like themselves. Welcome to New America, I guess. This is the new Black America. We are representing that. And for those of our elders who do support us, they're not going to get out here and be rah-rah in the streets. We don't expect them to do that. But they are silently standing with us. And that's one thing. Let me personally thank all of you. Y'all give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause. Because see, all we are representing here is we are extensions of our families. That's another thing that they don't understand about this lineage right here in America. We are so interconnected, it ain't funny. Do you understand how many of us are actually probably kin? We have a very unique circumstance here in this country. And if you think that we should forego honoring slaves, see, let's say it again. We honor slaves in this country. Let me say it like Umar. We honor slaves in this country. Let me say it one more time, just like Umar. We honor the slaves of this country. Why? Because we hail from them. And what do we come to realize now? That we are salt of the earth, regardless of our condition. Tell me what group on earth stands up to that. And we're not to be proud of that? I want to make sure that I keep this PC for everybody, but I have some words for you right now that I just can't say. Because I am so passionate about the blood that runs through my veins. hear some outsider tell me that I need to concern myself with a country that is not of my origin and a country that you can't even tell me exists today. But I'm to ignore the blood that runs through my veins for your fantasy of unity. And then here's the other disrespectful thing. For that blood that runs through my veins and how we have resisted oppression consistently, and that clearly runs through all 4 channels of my bloodline, I find it a great insult to say that we disassociate ourselves from Africa so we can associate ourselves with the white man. I tell my wife all the time, I wish somebody would actually say that to my face. Give me the opportunity to explain how wrong you are. No, we have enough of our own to love. That's he's saying something like that is coming from a group that only can project self-hate. You have your own self-worthlessness to deal with. We don't have that problem. Sorry. And I know that going through all of these things, they have medicines for your folks. And some of our people take those medicines too. I'm not knocking that. But boy, we are tried and true to go through any hard time on this planet. Well, all the rest of you, now we're crying and complaining about experiencing a few months of what it must be like to be in our skin. We're supposed to fall over and trip all over ourselves to come rushing out to the battlefield for you. No. Oh, no. On top of that, what do you tell us? Oh, that what you're going through is like the ancestors of ours that died on plantations. You know how much of an insult that is? You ever let nobody talk down on you about supporting your... Now what I'm saying right now out of my mouth, this is what these idiots say is xenophobic. Again, I offer anybody to challenge what I'm saying. It's cool on a comment board. I want you to bring it to the stage. I've always been a performer. We take it to the stage around here. If you are what you say you are, let's see that. So if your words on the comment board can say, well, this and that, yeah, let's flesh out your argument and position. It's funny, I've offered that many years. No one ever seems to take me up on that. One thing I am seeing here as of late, I do see the Democrats somehow taking this political strategies and implementing them. You realize they got Jasmine Crockett all the way up paint? And herself is she's sitting up there. Republicans don't want this to be this, and Republicans don't want this to be that. Jasmine Crockett and Jasmine Crockett supporters. 80% of Black Texans stayed home, period. They didn't vote for the white man. They didn't vote for you. Why did they stay home? What's your disconnect from Black America? That's what Democrats need to figure out. See the people here in this chat right here? See, the matter of fact, let me get y'all up on here on the screen. Y'all see these beautiful Black folks right here, these descendants of the planet's greatest Holocaust? You see these children here? these jewels and gems. How resilient of a line do we come from? Don't tell me about no something we can't put our finger on. That's not to disparage anybody. If you come from Africa, that's fine. But we come from a beautiful people here. And yes, they were under conditions of slavery for a very long time. That is nothing to get away from. That's every part of our argument, every part of our greatness, every part of the fantastic situation that you see today, that everyone has to copy us. As low as you could make us, down to songs that we sing out of sorrow, it's still a blessing to the planet. If you could say you have our effect, then maybe we could say there's unity there. But if we are the only ones always standing up, then I think right now we're the only ones who should be speaking. I'm just saying. And I don't think y'all understand what, like the video I played at the very beginning. This woman is saying that there is a part of Africa that got a lot of explaining to do when it comes to us. And they try to avoid it. They want to hide under the unity and this banner under flat blackness. No, you betrayed us too. If we are to really truly believe what the great patriarch of, I would say, this lineage, even Rose would say, these people have taken Confederate against your people. If we are an inspiring people, are we really to look at ourselves and we are not those people? I mean, really. And that's not saying let's be over spiritual. I'm saying let's be overly real. Not the ones here putting inside and then putting it under this name. And I just go back to all of these things that they have said about Farrakhan when he said, trying to hide things under your dirty religion, and they harped on the word gutter, and you said Judaism was a gutter. Not what he said, but what he said is they're hiding their dirty actions under guise of God. Look at, fast forward to Charlie Kirk. What do we see that's any different? What's funny is the guy that they want you to hate, Hitler, is one of the few that told the world Americans are crazy because they literally plan to fight God. Things coming because they got the Most High's jewels in their possession. Why would he only refer to Black America? Why didn't he refer to the whole diaspora? Shot in the dark? We're supposed to believe liars telling us what? Because you guys, half you guys are all Igbo. Hey, look at this 23andMe. I mean, look at it. You know, it's a lot to say for people that have a birthright on another land and also this land. It would be very, very important to you to probably keep them confused about their true identity now, wouldn't it? I'm just talking logic. These people seem like they talk like, and so when you're having issues coming up now, we're seeing weird things, and the things that I really want you to pay a little bit of attention to. That you is weird, and why are they doing these things? that I see from a supremacist position. One thing that they're having an issue with is the fact that regardless of how riled up they believe they could get their base, no one cares. It's so bad right now that you got the government, United States government, lying to people, talking about they winning. America's getting their ass kicked in this war. Ain't no head. We gotta get what to do. But the arrogance is crazy. You cut the head off the snake and then the rest of the snake dies. No, that's what happens when you fight cowards. You over here fighting people that'll strap a bomb to their chest. What head of the snake do you have in that? And I mean, what shows that's foolish? How'd that work for American street gangs? Y'all took Jeff Fort and Larry Hoover off the street, and did things get better? You instead of deporting Scarface, you ran him out of California and said, hey, go up to Portland and go start some gang banging up here. Then after success, this area, turmoil popping, had him stop in Seattle for a bit. Then you finally deported this illegal immigrant back to Jamaica. That's what a lot of people don't know. A lot of this gang banging stuff that even started popping up here with the Northwest, it started from a illegal immigrant Jamaican. Infiltrating black gangs, bringing third world stuff out here. And turn this place into Beirut. So I heard Iran is not, man, Iran don't give. You understand? Are we really to believe, come on, family, are we really to believe people that would label these folks the great Satan wasn't ready for the long one? These folks will tell you, man, the long winter is coming, winter is coming, winter is coming. Yeah, that desert storm is coming too. I mean, man, this is arrogance on 1,000. But, you know, you can't have arrogance without vanity. We'll tell you the religion supremacy is what? Satan. And speaking of Satan, Tucker Carlson has an issue of why, colonizers shouldn't have a homeland, and which is funny. So let me first explain homeland. White people do have a place of origin. It's just not over on this side of the world, nor is it in Africa or South Africa. So white people do have an origin in this land. And most of those places are landmarks because they're called ruins right now. But anyway, let's hear what Tucker Carlson has to say. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, just on principle, like every other group in the world has the right. Tell me, just explain to me how that makes sense. Either no group has the right or every group has the right. It's okay. You might even convince me. I don't know. I'm not a race guy, actually.
That's funny. Palestine and the ethnic cleansing that's happening there against the Palestinians actually kind of speaks against there's no homeland for the white man and blah, blah, blah. See, this is how you can set up a false argument. So basically, he's establishing a full-fledged lie. And he's working his argument and his point off of that said lie. The great Satan, ladies and gentlemen, the great Satan.
By my temperament at all. I'd kind of like to ignore it. But as long as some groups have a right to self-determination, then every group has a right.
Yep.
That's simple.
Yes.
And if there's a special carve out where one group doesn't have a right, you have to explain to me why that group doesn't have that right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Is that fair?
No, it's absolutely fair. Well, I think South Africa is.
I mean, what the hell with this nonsense?
Yeah, this.
Why are we playing along with South African white invaders? That's not their homeland. That's why, Tucker. And it's saying everybody has a right to a homeland. True indeed. But to whom you're referring to, those people invaded those people's homeland. So then, no, it does not concern you because you're an invader. How would you then have a homeland? See, that's the arrogance of the devil. And saying, well, this is what I want to call home now. You know, kind of like America. Well, let's hear a little more.
This narrative has become this massive stream that is turned into rapids on a river that just pulls everyone along. And this narrative just says if you're white, then there's inherently something wrong with you.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, no one has ever said if you're white, something's inherently wrong with you. That right there is another lie. See, people are saying your actions of invasion, murdering, and pillage, stealing, killing, and destroyed since, the beginning. Those are those attributes. No one's talking about because you're white. This is a content of character conversation. Remember how, family, if you have been here long enough, I always said they're going to start running away from the content of character conversation to start talking about skin color. We're not talking about the history of you being white. We're talking about the history of your deeds, the history of your words, the history of your arrogance and actions against other groups of people. That has nothing to do with you being white. The byproduct is you white. What we are talking about is the character and nature of you. If you want to align that with your whiteness, that's on you. But the group to which you hail from has done these different things. That's just kind of simply what it is, you dig? I don't know why you're bringing race into it, buddy. Your character sucks. We could just stick with the content of character. That's what the I Have a Dream speech was about. We're dealing with you're not a piece of shit because you're white. You're a piece of shit because you're a low down, low life racist. You see the difference? I hope so. Hope that helped. Let's let him finish.
And it's leading toward a really bad conclusion, obviously, as it has for every other group targeted in this way has really suffered in a bit, and there are a lot of them. Okay. It's not, there are a lot of them. And don't we're playing along where you're not even allowed to say, oh, you haven't been. I don't care anymore, obviously. But again, either every group has a right to self-determination or no group does. You can't have this system where, some groups do or all groups do, but one. No. It's all or nothing on this.
Yeah, well, I can guarantee.
Clearly, what you're trying to really get to, because, by way of talking about South Africa, you have to still double back to America. So to be specifically targeted for repair is not an everybody needs to be involved scenario. And I know how much you people like to lie to yourselves and tell yourselves that's true, but no, it's not. And now that you can see just by the numbers in Texas, how many black folks do actually have an independent position. Maybe not everybody is so friendly with this wicked notion that you guys have been pushing so long. And everybody's kind of seeing your lies for what they are, Tucker. You have had and what we're watching right now from, your MAGA buddies and the Pete Hegseth idiots and of the like and the cross-eyed Patels. Man, it's not really looking so good for the non-DEIers, man. And here you are again, whining.
can guarantee you that when I get back home, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble for this interview.
Well, I don't know why though. I mean, like, what's the counter argument? I don't really get it. Like, what is the counter argument? There's only one group on the entire face of the planet that doesn't have the right that every other group has. Like, tell me how.
It's no,
really I mean, like, maybe there's a good answer. I'm waiting for it.
No, well, we don't know what the answer is.
So there is no answer. And so because there is no answer, the way that uniformity is maintained is just through threats. Like, shut up.
Yep.
You're a bad person.
Well, I guess one way that some of these powers that be try to like maintain uniformity is like how the DNC keeps messing with me right now. So right before this broadcast aired, YouTube sent me a notification about a former video that or older video that can't be monetized for whatever reason. And so while this Tucker Carlson video is playing right now, they are telling me that another video that I did, and all of these videos, by the way, are about around elections, and this can't be monetized. This is intimidation, because this type of stuff happens, when it's not bad. It's not enough that you met my numbers and I'm so severely over the top shadow man. Last week when I was talking about, people were worried about who was going to be exposed. Not last week, whenever my last live was. My last live, when they were worried about who was going to be exposed, do you realize that live ended at 2,400? There was 2,400 people in the live. So don't tell me I'll tell you, you got moles in your camp, folks. You better start listening to old Beatzilla, because somebody is pissed off. Maybe I just been doing this too long. People, you don't know what he's talking about. Then I do. And then, there's just a few things I need to get to. So I might do a little bit of jumping around here. But first, yeah, let's do this. Let me just touch on this real quick. Because of ignoring the grassroots and New Black Media, I think one thing that we have been able to do is we have been able to solidly demonstrate unity in our generation. Unlike any other group, every other generation had some outside type of deal, that this is bringing people together behind this, or it's one person that brought all these. That ain't where we at with it today at all. We are at the place where literally empowerment. That's the code. That is such a leaderless movement. You can't sell a bill of goods to. You want to make this person a leader. You want to make that person a leader. You know what that does for the rest of us? That frees us up, baby. So, are you so concentrated on this one? All right. Well, we get to work unobstructed. Because this is a leaderless movement. So everybody has a part to play. And you act like, well, I'll just go after this. Cool. In the meantime, look at all of these people in this chat and all of these other chats. Those are all hands on deck. I think this is a little more than bots. But you guys keep acting like you want to ignore it. Okay. The thing I saw with Jesse Jackson pass, this is what really, really stuck out to me, is how the Democrats showed the Jackson family that it's about the party, not about the man. Now, the family come out and say, can you respect the wishes of the family and keep it about, keep it about Mr. Jackson and his legacy, and say thank you and all of that. And for some reason, he couldn't get that. And that right there kind of struck me really, really strange, that, okay, the family actually asked you to say, hey, give us this little piece of grace and keep your politics at home for today. Don't bring your politics here. Everybody's welcome, right, left, independent, trying to make it about, okay, Rainbow Coalition. Everybody's welcome. So what the Jackson family wants to do is establish him going out in the way that he was in his vision for everybody coming together. And Democrats is pretty much like, screw that, man. What? No. This is our time to grandstand crapping on Trump. Talk about not talk our stuff. What are you saying? And before I play that, let me show you this, because we got to get to this part. It's not just ignoring the Black grassroots, but it's attacking the Black grassroots. That DNC, Democrats, whoever is the strategic influence behind that, again, I reiterate, unlike Tethers, like Joy Reid right here, like Tethers, and I'm not so sure about this woman, who is also part of that Facebook political. So a black face on putting a target on Black American voices, those of us who are from the soil, with families from the soil, whose families are large and historic in this country, when these people are immigrants and Tethers and don't realize that they are insulting humongous parts of their base by targeting us. But sometimes you just got to be quiet and let things play out, because you got to see who people are at the end of the day. If we came out so long ago and really said, like, hey, DNC, not that you would listen to us, but hey, man, you realize we're part of these big families, right? Maybe they would have acted differently. Probably not. But let's just take a flashback to a few years ago, and then we're going to jump to just a couple days ago, because this is the nature of the organization that is not ran for blacks, by blacks, or in black people interests. This is black people doing other people's biddings against their own people, and in this case, against other people that somewhat look like them.
Targeted to turn black voters against them, but it's who they're using as the voice, quote unquote, the digital voice, are supposedly also black people spreading that message. And here's what you write about fake accounts that are not necessarily really black people, but who seem to be black people who are saying, hey, Kamala's a cop, or this person is bad for black people. Quote, fake accounts pretending to be black women matter, not only in the disinformation campaigns, but in every election. There has been a constant number, you write, of fake accounts posing as black women since 2013. These fake accounts, which pretend to be black women, seem to be real people with real concerns. They connect with the American black community online, attempting to learn black vernacular and key issue areas.
Now, remember the woman from the Israeli woman that was basically saying the exact same thing? See, we get these people that team up with other folks against us. And then people wonder why we not supporting y'all. Because y'all do stuff like this. This is underhanded and backstabbing. And you're putting a target on us for who? Who? The powers that be? Because Mr. 34 felonies. Yeah, what y'all thought was going to happen, that he was going to turn all his attention on us. And all he did was turn his attention to all of y'all. See, they ain't no friend of us. Don't turn around and be like, we all got to stay together. Man, miss me. Y'all was ready to crap on us had Kamala won. Miss me.
We have identified at least 5 listing campaigns that are focused on getting black people to do only one thing, not vote for the Democrats.
And can you name one of those 5 campaigns? I mean, we put up from the report that you're saying that there's a conversation about reparations that has to do with it. There's a criminal justice conversation. Yes. There's an immigration. Go on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Reparations, immigration, reparations, immigration, and anything that has to do with the criminal justice system.
Anything that has to do with the criminal justice system. This is an element right here of protecting police. And then the climate change thing, that's funny that they put that in there. Now, one thing I will say, I'm at least glad that they did, is they kept off the LGBTQ stuff, because they often like to hide those agendas under us as well. So that's legit. But I've also told y'all years ago, y'all have to be mindful of when they keep lumping ADOS and FBA together in the same conversation. Black Voices for Trump, you never really believed that. Blexit, that's Candace Owens. You knew that wasn't a bot. So look what she's trying to do. In this little moment, she's trying to link these groups together. So, like, hey, look at FBA and ADOS as you look at Candace Owens and Trump voters. Like the Terrence K. whatevers and the Hodge twins. Look at us like them. And this is an attack. That's an attack on image. But in blackface. There's nothing to be trusted there now. We don't have to look at Joy Reid and say, oh, well, maybe she isn't this or maybe she isn't that. We don't have to anymore. We know what it is. When it comes down to foundational Black Americans, the disrespect is full blown and it's all sanctioned behavior. And so when Black folks know, and that's why I believe Jesse Jackson Jr. said what he said. Because he knows the Democratic Party absolutely has disdain for foundational Black Americans. And so when people are saying black men didn't support Jasmine Crockett in Texas, miss me. This pillar, this icon, the last living civil rights individual in Jesse Jackson, you couldn't even find yourselves to honor his family's wishes. And so for us in the Black American household, there are so many things that we just don't do. When a family come out and tell you, don't get up on that stage with that BS, you honor that. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is how the DNC feels about Black America, from the smallest to the largest.
Do not bring your politics out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived to these homegoing services. Right. Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these homegoing services are welcome to all. Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American. We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived.
Each day we wake up to some new assault on our democratic institutions. Another setback to the idea of the rule of law. An offense to common decency. Every day you wake up to things you just didn't think were possible. Each day we're told by those in high office to fear each other and to turn on each other, and that some Americans count more than others.
I don't care what they do in Washington. I care what we do in the community. We beat people bigger than Trump. We fought people harder than them if we stand up and be what we're supposed to be.
This is bad times like now. We're in a tough spot, folks. We got an administration that doesn't share any of the values that we have. And I don't think I'm exaggerating a little bit.
Let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now. I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming.
These people standing over this brother's casket. Standing over his casket. Hey, Jesse Jr., I know what you said and all, but damn that. So I'm the president, former president, Barack Obama, and I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm sure there's probably somebody in the Jackson family that was just like,
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn! What? Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
oh man, these people just don't give a damn, man. They absolute zero respect for the family, man. Please just leave it up to him. And out of that, what did you hear about them championing him? Except for I'm sure Al Sharpton did spend some time to, because that's what Al Sharpton do. He's gonna he's gonna bob and weave in there, you know. But yeah, there's that. The fact that the man's casket right there, and oh, this is it's disrespect at a high level, but it's true. And like I said, how they feel. Their agenda is first and foremost before all else, man. And you can just look right there like, yo, this is what you got. Oh, man, that's right. That's cool, man. I'm cool. But going back to the other part of this, the blatant ignoring foundational Black Americans issues, acting like we don't exist, acting as if, but at the same time, we are experiencing every type of attack from all of these other groups that nobody seems to see. Isn't that something? Like, every time somebody else got something negative to say about foundational Black Americans, everybody starts acknowledging people responding to whatever's said. And then say, man, foundational Black Americans are always out here attacking and hating somebody. That's a terrible habit. And again, the cost of ignoring the Black grassroots and the new Black media is we're here telling you, we're right here. And no one wants to come talk to this big independent voter base. We are the voice of 91 plus million people. Somebody better pick up the phone. Because, see, we of this generation are historians. People, they don't know where they came from. And they don't understand. Really? Well, let's take a blast to the past, shall we?
My name is Ida Schultz. I'm third generation from slavery. I live in Philadelphia. I received my public school education here. I went to college and graduated in home economics education. Answering President Kennedy's call, I went on into the Peace Corps, serving there for 2 years in the mountain community of Pisan, Cusco, Peru. So many people ask me, why have you become so bitter? You've been given everything that any young American could ask for. Well, the whole thing is, just because I've been given everything, it doesn't mean that I should be satisfied. As a matter of fact, I've become very disgusted knowing that my own Black sisters and brothers have not had the same opportunity. I feel as though I've been used again. I feel as though you've bought another token. And what I'm disgusted and tired of is tokenism. You say, well, you know, if you're nice, we'll let you live next door to us. And if this happens, we'll do this. Well, what I'm asking for you to do is to stop doing us so many favors. The only thing that we want is not your friendship, is not your love, is not to live next door to you. But we want to know if we should so desire to do this, the opportunity is there.
And you know, it's unfortunate that of the generation before us, so many of them were content with being tokens. As long as they got their piece. well, man, we got to get along. I got to think about my family. And, I just got to make sure I look out for my own. And, I don't want it out here the boat. So, I'm going to go with the get along. And that woman told you real. It ain't cool to be no damn token. It ain't cool when the rest of your people are suffering. That goes back to the Bible itself and Moses. Why Moses was on the run to begin with? Because while he was chilling, living in the lap of luxury under the Egyptian rulership, his people, one of his people being mistreated. So he raised up on the brother, spared his countrymen, and had to handle that business, and went on the run. And then the Lord used him to part the Red Sea. So, the love for your people, I think that goes overlooked about Moses in that whole story. Something about what was in him said, I can't watch my people be mistreated. I can't just sit here and watch my folks be harmed. You know what I'm saying? You better understand. Martin Wood said, Jason Black and Professor Black Truth are the new black media. I don't know who this cat is. I'm the reason why you know what new black media is, genius. That lets me know how new you are. That's funny. No, I'm so when you first had the very first annual New Black Media Appreciation Month, there's the big 3, and then there's day 4. That's Beatzilla. Me, the one you don't know who it is. Oh, there's a video that I did, and I might have to put that in because I didn't post it because I felt it came off certain kind of way. I might put that in my members area though, because it addresses these type of people that do this type of thing, because clearly you don't know anybody around this movement. So you come out talking nonsense and say, well, before even the people you're watching right now, yeah, you best believe I was there before it existed. I'll tell you this, when I first started, before even Black Alpha had a channel, because I'm sure you probably watched Black Alpha, he just hit like 40,000 subscribers. You better do your homework on Beatzilla, baby. My numbers are small because I'm blackballed. I am so much so that when TMZ came to me, they came to me because I'm an influencer. You don't know who I am because they don't allow you to. But you stumbled over here right now, and look at the first thing you did was say something stupid. The man who's responsible. Thank you, church. Thank you, church. It just amazes me. Man, who's this person? Golly. Hey, remember when they were trying to tell Jason Black about what black first meant? It's the same. This is a thankless job, y'all. This is a thankless job. You got to have love for the family to do this thing. Yeah, man. You understand? Because you got to deal with nonsense like that. Oh, man. Jason Black is not only speaking for Black Americans. If you don't like there being multiple voices, then go somewhere. Jason is about to go live soon. Why are you even here? Here's a funny little thing that you might not know as well. before all of this internet stuff, Martin, did you know that me and him also know each other? He's the first black trucker I know. Because he, when his time in Portland, would stay up the street from my folks. And he would park his truck on my block. But I don't know who this shit. Let me even be a little more transparent. Y'all remember when he had his little situation, because nobody out here knows who he really is, because y'all haven't seen him in real life. I'm one of the few that have. So the person he had a little situation with hit me up because, of course, yes, I'm one of the people who does know who he is, and wanted me to talk against the brother. And I ain't getting involved in nobody's personal business. So, but just on some transparency, you know, you need to check yourself, Martin. Because if we have a leaderless movement and people like myself are not even known for literally being why you know this term, that's because the movement was more important. But you know what's more important to you right now? Being seen. Now you're being seen for saying something completely stupid. Now when you go back to Jason Black's chat, you'll act like they won't know that you did this. But like I said earlier in this broadcast, you don't know how many of us are actually intertwined. So good going, genius. Young men would understand the power in shutting up. Sometimes you just shouldn't open your mouth. I don't need to type this foolishness. You know what? Because maybe there's something I don't know or something I don't understand. But nope. Go on. Anyway. Let me go somewhere else. And be mindful of people like that in your comments. Had he said that to a sucker, maybe they would say some slick shit against the brother. Y'all better watch that dude. If he pops up in these other threads, he ain't no real supporter. He is a problem. Like I said, that video that I did last week, that mug had we ended with 24,000 or 2,400 in the line. 2,400. And that's because people thought that I was going to be naming people and exposing people by name, which I didn't. But what I do want to point out, and once again, just like these Martin Woods, we're in a season that we need to be tightening up. And so when you see people like this want to interject, number one, I have no problem with you mentioning other content creators' names, such as those, because of course they are in this community. But I can't help but notice that you took that approach. And the funniest thing about that is, do either one of those brothers have that hashtag after their name? As long as you guys have known me, you see that there. So understanding that you look at them because they are the biggest names. Notice what he just did. So let's be mindful when we start seeing people like that jumping in chats. Everybody wants to start conflict for no reason, and they like to get things spawned off. But you're talking to grown adult men, especially some of those who are familiar with who each other is. So, there's that. Yeah, that's very strange. Yeah, keep an eye on that guy. So, moving along. That's funny, actually. Yeah. Let me. Yeah, that kind of again. Say, wait, that's a do. Yeah, it's for the way. Yeah. This inherent need to always come over here and either, if you're not attacking us, then you're trying to you said the person is clearly trying to trigger me. Oh, well, no. Listen, I know you're new. I know you're new here. I'm the asshole of new black media. Because I'm the one that I know is blackball, I don't have to hide anything about myself. So I don't. And so what you see is what you get. But see, one thing that everybody around this thing knows is my influence has nothing to do with what you see is. Like, this is his numbers, this small channel. Man, let me tell you something. If you hear it spoken out of my mouth, you will watch it be manifest. I've shown you how these things are done here. So these type of individuals don't mean anything to me. But I do want you guys to know that we've been at this for a minute. And for some of the brothers, they actually not even warned them about what's coming. So when you guys do all these things, I understand when I see a Moroccan mole. Ah, boy, robotics. Clockwork. See? Here we go. Now you hear the voice thing going on? It's all working in tandem, baby. We're a Moroccan mole. Let me finish. Where you see a Moroccan mole, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Always remember when you see that Moroccan mole. And so, the point, not being triggered, but using the point of action to teach. Because these things don't happen in a vacuum. When you see these weird attacks coming out, the one thing you always...
And now we see you for what you are, because he did this excellent video where he's talking about FBA. He's saying what many of us been saying for the longest of time. He's writing exact on this. The real tethers are the FBA movement, because you all are tethered to white supremacy.
Cover your children's ears, please. Okay, we have a little bit of grown-up speak here. No, hoe-ass nigga. Tethered to white supremacy? How? Because all of a sudden, we're not in love with Africa. We were never in love with Africa. We were always in love with ourselves. Jeez. Here. See, I'm going to sound intellectual, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. Oh, Church said, me and dude used to be cool until he started attacking it. Or the dude in the video. The dude in the video, Church? Because if you're talking about this dude in the video, that actually, see, okay. Now, I'm going to go through this, and that'll get me back to the story of this other fella. Because me and Alpha can speak from the same perspective of having somebody in our midst that was cool, and then but was really just a plant to flip. You know what I'm saying? Yes, okay. Yes, so he was with me in the beat. Really? Okay. Okay. See, fam, this is what I'm talking about. And this is why I fell back. Because I'm like, man, I know everybody ain't ready to just shed everything around them. I get it. But there's something coming down the pike. And so when you start seeing, like, obviously you sniffed him out, so he probably had to get away from you. Because, like, you know, oh, man. You from out here, bro. So, I mean, being a Cali dude, you gonna sniff a rat before too long. Even if he comes as, like, the brother, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. Because I'm sure he was saying certain things. It was like, and then you got to say, well, wait, hold up, man. And so, yeah. This is the type of thing I'm talking about. These guys that have been sitting over here for a minute. Never forget, the doctor, for those of you who are in this chat who know our good brother Nino.
I am a bootleg internet PhD and CIA snitch here to attack FBA.
I am a bootleg internet PhD and CIA snitch here to attack FBA.
And help from Pram Africrats, we will take them down.
Nino was following her. So that means that, you know, she's been hanging around this environment for a minute, but harboring all of these other views. This was a couple of years ago before FBA became dominant, and I definitely saw where he was trying to put us on. We have panels with this dude. Really? Wow. I'm not surprised. That's another thing that I've been known for. Defending and protecting this movement. And most definitely, people don't like me right now because what I do behind the scenes. You best believe I protect this movement. Yes, there's some people that do not like me. So there's things that, like, man, I'm not worried about how people be feeling about us. You understand me? We all in over here, man. Are you? You know, come on now. Let's hear some more of this dude that
it is Trump administration.
You got to be
kidding.
You
are tethered to the leash of white supremacy.
How?
And they are basically using you all as attack dogs against black immigrants, just like those segregationist police officers use actual attack dogs against civil rights demonstrators. That's how y'all look.
No, sir, it is not. And I would see, this is another disrespectful thing that people like to do. I don't know. The fact that a person feels comfortable saying that, I got to wonder, what is this dude's lineage? Because I'm sure he'll be like, yeah, man, you know, Oh, yeah. Yeah, that ray gun thing. I did see that ray gun. I gotta look back at that. But yeah, this fella right here, I gotta say, not certain that he FBA. He might have been fronting. And again, there's a page right now out here fronting as Black Grassroots. She ain't FBA. Who knows a trait of well-to-do Nigerians? Always remember. Our good brother Crew Reality giving you something. You got some words to guide yourselves accordingly right there on the screen there. So take the word from what I'm talking about. If you want to pick out the Nigerian amongst you, gap teeth, he is a tether. Hairline, I'm bald, so I can hide my hairline. A mole on top of the forehead, bald head, gap teeth, goatee. See, I'm an American. But he's saying we're tethered to white supremacy. This is a black person, and I'll say melanated immigrant, who does not have experience through generations with white supremacy. Because to make such a statement, you don't have that experience at all.
Your leader said that Trump administration is doing nothing that's adverse to black people. Meanwhile, Trump is attacking our very civil rights, but y'all have no people.
What leader? I would have to assume that you're referring to Brother Nasheed, but I can't speak because I don't know from which statement you're taking from, Tariq, but I will say this. I will be in agreement with what you're saying, but I just have to make a correction because I'm pretty sure that Tariq would have specified nothing adverse happening to foundational Black Americans, not Black people. I'm noticing how now all of a sudden you're wanting to point him out, but then you're altering his words. Well, if you're going to say foundational Black American at the beginning, and this is what foundational Black Americans or FBA is doing, then why then, if you're going to refer to Tariq, why didn't you say he was talking about foundational Black Americans then? Notice how he tried to do that little word play there? Fed.
You are doing the work of the white supremacists. Just like the white supremacists think that they're better than all other people, you think that you are better than other Black people from the diaspora. You are the real tethers, tethered to white supremacy.
God damn, we really did a number on the Pan-African, because look at his little RBG flag back there. I guess I also didn't realize the byproduct of foiled within those Black Power movements. So yeah, you guys probably have been wasting money. Hey man, I mean, at the end of the day, they're not going to get anything moving over here, but bust who you need to bust over there. Shit, call in Taharka Bay's loan. We've heard enough of him. Go ahead and call his loan in. There's this dude out here swinging in the air. Look at some guy, this leader. Nah, it's not going to work. You might as well just go ahead and pack it in. Call in his loan. Get him off out. Because, Taharka Bay is like a nuisance, and there's so many more positive things that could be going on out here than that. So, I mean, wrap it up. Whatever you guys got hanging over here, he's not going to get the job done. Just call it in. Call in the loan time. Yeah, calling in the accounts. Time to settle up, buddy. Let you work along, let you do your thing, time to settle up. Let me hear a little more from this guy.
And while you reject your African identity, you tether yourself to a flag that enslaved your ancestors for hundreds of years. You tether yourself to a flag that subjected you to Jim Crow and lynchings. But you want to disassociate.
The flag that has so much blood stained on it here in America is with our family's blood. I owe all that I do to them. If you don't like that, I have to humbly tell you to kiss my black ass. I mean, what? You tether yourself? I'm tethered to my lineage, punk. Not no false red, green, and red, or whatever the hell you want to call it, because the Chinese over there kicking y'all asses in Nigeria or wherever the hell you're from. And you have to deal also with your part in selling black people into slavery and worrying about us not being covered for you or your people anymore. Well, that ain't our problem. But just like what you're saying here, you are literally delineating in the words you are saying. The flag I served in the military. Thank you for your service, Christian Wright. What? And not to mention our flag was created by a Black American woman. And we're supposed to not acknowledge that because she was property. Yeah, we not the same, man. And that's why we can't unite with you. You want us, until you talk about the blood in this land and the what we owe to those folks, we owe everything to them. Not no goddamn Africa.
Insane. So before you all come here questioning my identity, which you always do when people criticize FBA, I am an African American. I am a descendant of enslaved Africans in this country. My grandparents are from this country. My great-grandparents are from this country. My great-great-grandparents are from this country. My great-great-great-grandparents are from this country. So try again if that's what you're going to try to use to criticize my views.
To that, I would probably just call you. But to criticize your views, there's nothing really to criticize because you're a liar. That's so I couldn't criticize something that's simply not true. this notion that we want to spend so much time talking about Africa and all this, again, we have enough of a culture here, our lineage. We have things. We're talking about reparations, and these people are talking about us disassociating ourselves from Africa. When the reparations conversation is about our duty and our tie to the people here in this country. So even more, let me show you somebody else lie on us. Let me show you this guy. And this crash. Listen. These folks here, in amongst our family trees out here, they know who we are. They know what we descend from. They got the same family tree we attach to. This is a joint. This is the family venture. Reparations for our lineage can do so many things, and yes, we are owed that. So see, to keep talking about Africa to get to or to get away from what our birthright is here. That's why they want us to fully ingest this African notion. So everything that we get, we bring them along. And we're rejecting that, and they're saying, you guys are divisive. That's a lie. That is an absolute lie. But if it wasn't about them gaining anything, do you think they would care? Do you think they would care? Check this out.
Because I think it is the most separatist term coined back in 2019 by
Tariq Nasheed. Tariq, I know Tariq.
And Tariq Nasheed coined this term, and maybe he had good intent because it's like, hey, how do we separate when it comes to reparations and being able to say, hey, this belonged to so it came to America and their descendants. And I get that. I get and understand that concept. But what it does, it furthers this idea of separation. Yeah. And I think back again to childhood and the stuff that even as an adult, like, I'm not African. I'm anything but African, right? I got Indian in my blood. Yeah. I'm Creole. I'm anything.
As a Cherokee Creole, I have to respectfully say, fuck you. Either I exist or I don't. I think I exist. My granddaddy was born with Cherokee Reservation Hospital. Plenty of Black Cherokees. My cousins are actually darker than you, brother. I mean, I'm looking at this ass on the screen, and I have cousins darker than him with straight black hair. That's funny, you know, but yeah, we're so stupid over here. We are so dumb, man. We just so ignorant. We just don't know what we means. I mean, good Lord. So we in the land of all of this education, and all that we knows is that, well, I guess I just determines what I is today based off of a notion. Because that's what you would have to be to fit their narrative. This is the evidence of how out of touch of actually learning our culture these people truly are. My God. I mean, you are way out of touch. family, I'm going to just say something to y'all, and you will get what I'm going to say, because tomorrow is Sunday. And you guys don't have to put this in the chat. I just want to leave. This is something I want all those non-foundational Black American people to wonder what I am talking about. And I'm just going to simply say, when somebody's getting up tomorrow morning and sitting in their seat, somebody is going to say, I was glad when they said to me. These outsiders don't even know what's happening. We don't owe these people nothing. They don't have our culture. They don't come from our community, and they don't know us. You feel me? Let's hear a little more of this angry little African, though.
But African. And so when you say foundationally Black American, it's like, yes, I can say I'm foundationally Black American, and I am not you. I'm like, no. And they're like, my dad said y'all, brother. Man, we ain't your brother. We ain't African booty scratchers. No,
Yeah.
but we look alike. No.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, cool.
Well, this came into when reparations was being considered.
Yeah.
When reparations came in, how much are Black Americans owed? It had to be codified.
Right. Black Americans, Black immigrants, we're one people. We have, yes, different struggles, from different sides of the world, all together we're united. Into Black, like Obama, contributions for so many other Black Americans that we know about, so many Black immigrants who've made contribution. There is enough to go.
Barack Obama's citizenship for America comes from his mother. So see the convolution of our lineage. Barack Obama is not of our lineage. That's why he had so much problems. And that's why Hillary Clinton was such a viable candidate against him, because Black America was riding with Hillary Clinton. I know a lot of people are too new to this country to know that, but it was because of Michelle, that there were people, see, the delineation thing, they want to make it, see, 2019, it's all Tariq Nasheed's fault. For those of us who were there for the election of Barack Obama, we know that delineation was part of the 2008 election. Hello? Delineation was very much a part of that election. And it was the spirit of Pan-Africanism that really smoothed it over, but with the assurance. Why do you think the mother-in-law was living in the White House? There was a reason behind that. And pleasing Black America by having somebody tied to chattel slavery in there was very important. So don't get lost on it now. Start talking about Barack Obama without Michelle. Because there wouldn't have been no President Obama without the foundational Black American around him. And that man was dating men and white women. So knowing the business and the nature of the business, you had to go ahead and get you a black beard. I mean, get you a black wife and move accordingly in that way. I know somebody was like, beard?
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn!
Woo!
Around everywhere for us to be together. The Black card gone away. This idea that there is only a monolith of being Black should be gone away.
Based on what? Because you don't like it? I mean, it should just be gone away. Let's just do away with it. I mean, God, why is it still here? I just don't know, man. Why? Why? Well, the things that happen.
I'm Haitian. What? Where you from? What's your background? You American? Dirty black American?
Wait, what?
Huh? Huh? What?
Wait, what you
American?
say?
Black American? What?
No. Hold on. You said dirty black American.
You heard that? You just
Wow, you enjoy running water with dirty? That's hilarious. But this is the nature of these type of individuals, but somehow it's us. And we don't like black immigrants. When it's foundational black Americans that help these people get here, but we're dirty. Uh-oh. I guess the DNC person assigned to my account might be Haitian. Well, let me fix this. And you know what I'm going to do right now? We got some folks in the house. Let me just fix this real quick. In the meantime, I'll give you a little bit of something. Let's do this. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Some wanna hit it and quit it. Some broke your heart, though you never admit it. Don't you, baby, return to yourself. Go to work, the church, and hang tight with the girls. When you're all alone, that's where I come in. Hey! Come on. When you don't want nobody to know what you're feeling inside, I'll make you stay. I'll make you stay. All right, y'all. Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and get that mic fixed. We got folks out here working against us.
I am a bootleg internet PhD and CIA snitch here to attack FBA and help from Prime Africrats. We will take them down.
By the way, beatzillapdx, I'm also a blacklisted artist, if you didn't know. So, you know, that how they, well, you know, when you're not controllable, then, you know, they make sure they stifle what you do. Salute. Thank you. Salute to the FBA Freedman community. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. FBA Freedman Wolf Pack. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being here in this live. I appreciate you for tuning in. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours, as well as all of my members in the chat today. Salute to each and every one of you. Thank you for being members and supporting this channel. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon each and every one of you and yours. And as well as everybody else tuning in that is down with Black empowerment. You might not be a member of this channel, but you are a member of the B1 community. To you, I also say salute. Peace, power, blessings, and protections be upon you and yours. All right, so let's continue on here. Say the most powerful military in the world couldn't take her, because it couldn't be the most powerful the most powerful military in the world without us to begin with. That is a fact. Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. And Loretta Loretta Memphis said Trump said he is going to get rid of a lot of Cubans. They're going to develop those Cubans, Puerto Ricans out of you mean deport those Cubans, Puerto Ricans out of Florida by, I hope, Umar. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, Umar and his false position. And you know, it's funny too, because years ago, I was like, you know, this guy quit. This guy is flat out quit. And he quit on empowerment. He is now just moving for survival. And it shows. Like, let me, I'm just playing a little bit.
And we are the only philosophy that has ever been pointed out by the white man as being a threat to see. Ain't also no documents. You ain't gonna see no Hebrew, no Moor, no Wapi, and none of that. And I love them all.
You didn't see us labeled as African Americans neither. Nor are we on that document as Africans. And so this dude really tries to do that. Like, see, yeah, and uniting with Africans and all of this. And okay, when J. Edgar Hoover was alive, Edgar Hoover's dead. And guess what they did to circumvent us connecting with those Africans? They went through there and kicked their asses. So what country or government or group are we supposed to be aligning ourselves? Matter of fact, I got something to read for y'all. Hold on. Wait.
We cannot allow the Black African and the Black American to unite at all, culturally, economically.
The American Negro actually would be what he referred to. So the point being that you never can get away from, he keeps referring to Americans. American, Umar. Not African, American. And then you actually had to kind of somewhat stay honest and say Black. So again, you're still talking about Black American. So to say foundational Black American, it's still Black American. Your derangement of your hatred for Tariq is an obsession, along with a lot of these people out here. That's insane. But for the rest of us, and like I say, going back to Texas, 80% and Texas is a sure tell sign, because out of all of these states, Texas has all the Black voters per and that's the biggest state. So, kind of screwed if you don't take heed to what's going on there, And so let's hear a little more about what Umar is talking about. And then because he's talking about the biggest worry is about us linking up with Africa.
Or politically, if they do, that would significantly on our global agenda.
Yeah, so you're looking at it from a global perspective.
Is the threat, not this other crap. You don't care about none of that stuff. Right. That's just smoke and mirrors. People
you're looking at it from a global perspective. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're the only thing he worried about.
Right. Yeah.
So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement. DAFA, descendants of African freedmen in America. Remember, Loom, after freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen. So we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American.
This man said he a doctor, right? Let's educator in the house. What the hell is he talking about, Judah? Because I'm like, wait, what did he just say? Umar Friedman is American. Oh, he's lost it, y'all. I told y'all, this guy is done, man. See, yeah, Freedman, there's no Freedman African. That's a freedman, because you're not free in Africa, you're free in in America. So the term would be about an American, not no FBA.
You ain't never putting that no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen in America.
I like that. Do you think you're gonna get pushback for even launching that?
It don't matter. I'm stronger than both of them groups put together.
You're not.
Oh.
No, Umar, you're getting something confused. You said you're stronger than both of those groups. No, bro. Cocaine is smarter than or stronger than your common sense. I mean, the fact that anybody still entertains Umar, this guy told you he had a school and he ain't got a goddamn staff. There was a whole pandemic. This guy doesn't think to have any online classes whatsoever. He doesn't have any online curriculum accessible right now. He's not even saying, I'll just read you pieces from a book, or I'll do this or I'll do that to facilitate something. No, he just sits out here and bitches and whines and complains. You got this big 50-something dusty-year-old nigga that's only spending his time talking about what somebody else is or ain't doing, at the same time that took millions of dollars for a school that he's never opened. He ain't got booked the first. He don't need to be up on nobody platform opening his mouth against nobody. I'm about to start a movement. Start a movement by opening your damn school. Goddamn con man. Jeez. Yeah, cocaine is stronger, bro. Man, I don't know, man. Nah, I mean, be part of this doctor thing. Yeah. Jeez. Oh, okay. So, yeah, speaking of, we're staying in the same lane, but moving a little back over to the political side of things. And this is going back. Oh, before I get there. Before I get there, hold on. Before I play this video, let me actually do this. Okay, so we just played two previous videos about people saying that we were going to be divisive and yada yada and unity and agents of the white man or white supremacy or whatever kind of crap they say. All right. This little article probably went overlooked by a lot because, you know, not everybody is following all of these different news outlets. And this one was just kind of interesting that I saw. This is from News Ghana. Oh, actually, yeah, these are my new ones. I put these back on to see these. I forgot. Okay. So Ghana special. Oh, wait. First, let me read this headline. Check this headline out, family. It says Ghana eyes US $100 million to restore slave era forts through reparations push. See what I said? Ghana's special envoy for reparations is calling for closer coordination with the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and Creative Arts to advance the country's reparation agenda through heritage tourism, anchored by a plan to mobilize or to pay $100 for the restoration of the country's network of historic forts and castles. You remember, like, so when we were being, when those of our family members who came here by way of ships were being betrayed, they were housed in these prisons and castles before they helped the white man load our asses on ships. Because, of course, yes, we do know black folks did come by way of ships. I know people be getting over here playing semantics with these. This is what they said, stupid semantic conversations. Of course, there were slave ships that came here, and of course, there were black people who were already here. Argue with your mama. Anyway, the proposal, which links reparative justice advocacy directly with tourism development, seeks to position Ghana's United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organizations listed slave trade era coastal sites as both memorial landmarks and revenue generating assets capable of drawing diaspora investments and international funding. Reality, we walk the trail of tears. I am absolutely a descendant of that on my father's side. Yeah, that's man. I guess that it was meant for me to be. I got all this flowing through my veins. And I guess that, you know, the Lord saw fit to have me here such as a time like this. Hey, I think, you know, there might be something to that, because look at our generation. Boy, we a monster, ain't we? Deputy Tourism Minister Yusuf Dr. Jaha or Jaja or yeah, whatever. Well, if I butchered the name, sorry. Welcomed the engagement and reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to rehabilitation program, acknowledging that restoration efforts have faced persistent funding constraints and stalled works at several sites. He said the ministry was ready to collaborate on resource mobilization to preserve the sites and strengthen Ghana's cultural tourism offering. The timing of the proposal reflects a broader strategic moment for Ghana and the global reparations stage. Global reparations stage? President John Dramani Mahama, serving as the African Union champion for reparations, announced in February 2026 that Ghana will formally table a landmark resolution at the United Nations General Assembly on March 25th declaring the trafficking of enslaved Africans as the gravest crime against humanity. It wasn't the treatment after they got to where they was. It was stopping at them being removed from Africa. That's an interesting scope, isn't it? Not very diasporic, because you're going as far as saying you took something from here. Let us get money for the people you took. Am I missing something here? Oh, Lord, these folks are something else. And you wonder why these people over here are so fighting so hard against the, oh, there's something to it. About $100 million to start with just for this little thing. And I'm imagining $100 million can go a very long way over there. As the AU has also designated the period from 2026 to 2036 as the AU decade of reparations, underscoring a shift from symbolic advocacy to structured implementation. Oh, you mean like cutting the check? Are y'all hearing this? I'm gonna put this link in the description of this live on the YouTube. So you go back here and read this article for yourself. Golly, dude. They are really trying to hustle their ways on in on our reparations, ain't they? That's organized as hell. Forts and castles, many of which date to the transatlantic slave trade era, are inscribed on UNESCO's World Heritage List and remain among the country's most visited tourist attractions. They also form the emotional core of diaspora heritage tourism, drawing visitors from across North America, the Caribbean, and Europe who travel to sites such as Cape Coast Castle and Alameda Castle to trace ancestral connections. Yet, despite their cultural and commercial significance, the sites have faced years of deterioration. UNESCO has raised concerns over declining structural conditions, while coastal erosion driven by rising sea levels poses an additional long-term threat to several of the smaller forts dotting the country's shoreline. So the government allocated $22 million in 2025 for the rehabilitation of 6 forts and castles, with works focused on repairing structural damage, converting portions of the facilities into a museum, and tourism experiences. However, the allocation has been widely viewed as insufficient given the scale of restoration required across the full estate of 28 forts and castles spread across the Volta, Greater Accra, Central, and Western regions. Now getting down to the nitty. The proposed $100 million fundraising initiative would represent the most ambitious attempt to link cultural preservation, reparative justice, advocacy, and diaspora-driven development financing. So diaspora-driven development financing under a single coordinated framework. Officials acknowledge that releasing that target will require sustained engagement with international donors multilateral institutions, and diaspora communities alongside domestic budget support. That's all I'll read. You guys can finish the rest of this at your leisure. After this wraps up, I'm going to put this link in the description of this video. Matter of fact, I think I can just do that right now. So let me do that. Let me go in here and do that right now. What do y'all have to say about that? See, every time you start asking questions about why do people so concerned about us delineating and all of this, well, if you're looking for diaspora financing streams, well, I think delineation throws a big monkey wrench in that now, don't it? Yeah, we working for the white man. Get your hand out my pocket. And so again, that's one of them things that they want to make sure they are not left out of the reparations conversation. Okay, now that link for that article is now in the description, family. So, yeah, there's that. There is that. Crew said, my people do that tourism to Africa. I could not do it for the and yo, people better be careful, man. Loretta said, American government can give others our reparations, however, God promised to restore Judah of all that was stolen, lost while in captivity. So I rejoice today, for I shall recover it all. Don't you know it? But see, here's the one thing of we don't put our trust in them at all. You know, and our trust ain't in reparations of that. Reparations is just a part of it. But the push, as you see, is part of the overall. Yes, indeed. We are just playing our part. We in this grand theater of life. And hey, man, we're the man in the iron mask. We are the blessed individuals. We the last. I think that's a pretty good position to be in right now. You know what I'm saying? True said, I'm fixing my car, and if I can get out to Jesse Paris in Colorado, I'll continue to the West Coast to see. Right on. Yes, indeed. You driving that a good West Coast trip. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in my own mind because you're a Democrat. Man. Yes, yeah. Oh, Cruz, is he got any Carters or Mays? Yeah, there's some Mays out here. There's some Mays up here. Y'all know. Couple generations. Again, if you guys know out here, like, it goes from it literally goes from the of historic things, Black historic things in Colorado. So we all over this place, man. We are all over this place. Man, this area, you know, and tried to bust. They had a bust up there, so around 2020, somebody wins it. And we've seen a whole lot of madness out here, especially 2020. I was outrageous. Okay, so so for black Democrats, let me show you something. There's a video, and I'm sure that a lot of people will see this because I saw what's the idiot Don Solomon. And so Don Solomon, if you're watching this, I lifted this video off your page because it works to a point to where these people think they are and really crap. Let me get this up here for y'all. Okay, let me just let it roll, and I'll break this down.
Everyone wants to play the game until black people want to play the game. We're not. Now that black people are running that same fucking game saying, we're not voting for James Talarico just because you want a blue candidate in the Senate. We're not doing that. He has to earn our vote. Now all of a sudden nobody wants to play the game. Fucking hypocrisy.
Now, again, let's look at 80% of black Texans that didn't vote. He's using like the non-Texas perspective, talking about Jasmine Crockett, using the familiar go-to talking points of, well, you know, everybody hates a black woman and that's racist and this and that, but not really looking at the true makeup and looking at the real reason why there was such a disconnect Okay. Okay. Hopefully I'm back there. Now my voice is back. My sound just completely just dropped straight out. Anyway, so like I said, 80% of black voters in Texas stayed home and voted for the cops. So what is the disconnect for Jasmine Crockett? And also let's remember, Jasmine Crockett was not running against a Republican in this race. She was literally running against
voted in the Texas State House to uphold Israel's right to defend itself. But that doesn't matter, right? James Talarico was at AIPAC events, but that doesn't matter, right? James Talarico is funded by Miriam Adelson, but that doesn't matter, right? Fucking hypocrisy. He can't elect Jasmine. She's not electable. She can't reach the people that are actually voting in the state. Translates to, she can't pander to the racists that are in this state.
Why couldn't she get 80% of other black voters to come out and vote for her? Had she done, I guess message of the day is that's the cost of ignoring the black grassroots and new black media. Because what happened?
So we have to make sure that we uphold the supremacy that reinforces Liz Cheney. She wants to pander to the Republicans. How dare she? We can't support her if she does that. Oh, so now their standards have changed. Fucking hypocrisy. Oh my God, Jasmine's running on identity politics. I'm so tired of identity politics. Can get the racist Latino and white voters to come out because they will never support a black woman. So you're running on identity politics. Wow, fucking hypocrisy. And a final note, it's up versus down. That's why his campaign was successful, because that's the message that actually gets out. The reason the message gets out to all of you fucking racists is because that's the only message that negates the harm that are actually led onto black and other marginalized groups on the basis of being black or their marginalized identity. So it allows to completely skip over the construction, the hard conversation, acknowledgement. All of these systems and institutions are created to uphold supremacy, which you guys have done in this entire fucking election, because the argument was the only way that we can win.
What lesson did he learn? Is that when it comes down to supremacy, the Democrats are just the same wing of the same bird? That's a different wing of the same bird? Is that what he just figured out? Wow. I mean, man, I just don't know, man, wow, they just hate a black woman and what? Yeah. See, right here, the Black Grassroots is, hi, my name is, and everybody's like, yeah, let's ignore them. Let's go to the boule. Boule ain't got no spikes in the dirt over here. They're not from the turf, as we say. So they don't get any type of movement over here. This is something you're going to have to relate to us on a different level. And so far, we have got nothing but resistance. You know what I'm saying? Now, family, I want to give you a brief overview of what I'm looking at. Now, I'm sure that when I get out of this YouTube live, that they're going to say, I got so many numbers. But I just want you to know right now that since this live has started, and I'm looking at real numbers, and I know how they play with them, we're up to 7,000 views. Just to show you how they play with my numbers here. Now, for a person that has under 3,000 subscribers, does it make sense that I would have 7,000 in line? Now, they're not showing you 7,000. Like right now, they're jumping between the concurrent numbers. That ain't changing this. It's almost 7,000 number I'm looking at there, though. But I mean, this is how beatzilla get done over here. I just want y'all to know. So when people be like, "I don't know who this dude is," somebody does, and it matters very much to stifle what I say. We're dealing with some good liars, professionals. Oh, professional grade liars. You know it. You know it. And they have to throw out all their secret squirrels now. They got to stop all of them. Matter of fact, this one here.
Black folks, the real reason why people did not want Jasmine Crockett to win, it isn't policy, y'all. It's not her experience, and it's not her incompetence. It's about two things, y'all. It's race.
Wait, It's not about what?
It's about it's not her incompetence. It's about two things, y'all. It's race and it's gender. Because to this country, a Black person winning is already too much, y'all. But y'all put a Black woman winning, that's double the threat. Double the hate. And tearing Jasmine down for her wigs, weave, lashes, ghetto, being loud, throwing her under the bus, doing the goddamn work of white supremacist ideology for free.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Goes again and again and again. The same old line. And family, if you guys remember, for those who have been in our spaces for over the years, I've warned you that every time you hear these people make this reference, you guys are trying to align yourselves with white supremacy. It's coming from the exact same place. Why is the DNC so involved with delineation? They're warring against it. Like I showed you with Brandon Johnson. He let the cat out the bag that their agenda is to fight delineation. She is not a classy Black woman. No, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. But here she is. She got to class it up for this video, you know, because she knew how this was going to go out. So she had to represent the moment well. But we know, like, this is the type of thing that they're going to start rolling out. I'm just going to get out here and I'm going to say something disparaging because then I'm going to throw out all the talking points. All the talking points doesn't, it's not going to get you to really connect. You know, you're just throwing words out there and nobody can relate to them. And at the same time, for all of the people who watch in silence, they see you for what you are. And they see all the attacks against this movement, which tells you is about Black empowerment. It shows you is about Black empowerment, and it demonstrates that it's about Black empowerment. We delineating has nothing to do with looking at anybody else in a negative light. It has everything to do with focusing on a pathway of trying to interrupt and stifle such said agenda. Well, then, yes, you will be met with ferocious pushback, because that is what a group is supposed to do about their agendas. Defend them. Our position, we defend it. This new Black media thing, this Black grassroots thing, we defend them. And in turn, we could be a defense to our people as warners, as the voice, as the actors. This is the community that we are. And there is no breaking that up. So let's hear this tether finish her lies about foundational Black American. But what you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fleeting existence for tethers to sit up here and be able to hide under our banner while stabbing us in the back and talking to us in such a condescending manner, which displays how long a person has been harboring negative feelings against foundational Black Americans.
Still competing with Black women, still trying to police them, still not realizing that her winning is not a loss for you. It is a win for an entire race. We throw that word around ghetto, but what exactly is ghetto? And how come it don't stick to white folks when they do the same goddamn thing?
Because that's how white supremacy works when you're in the system that they control. what she's doing now? She's asking dumb questions because she's letting white people off of the hook of their dominance. See, so that right there shows you that she's trying to separate. The prime example, this is also a key sign to let you know that how when these people are coming, well, FBA aren't like Black Americans. FBA is a Black American. Black Americans in the name. So you can't separate it. And our families don't separate from us based on a title we're using today. I could switch religions and my family stays the same. So when they see you attack us in public, stop crying that your support is drying up. Because you're not just disrespecting us. You're disrespecting us, our family to whom you don't see, and all of my and our family's collective ancestors on this soil. We owe you nothing. Hey, we owe you nothing. And that's one thing you all have to understand. Let me let her finish.
Because when black folks talk loud, dress bold, wear wigs, weave lashes, it's called unprofessional.
When we talk loud, talking loud is unprofessional. Coming to work with gaudy eyelashes would be considered unprofessional because that's not what grows out of your face. Coming there with big crazy wigs and weaves, that doesn't grow out of your hair. Now, if you're being discriminated against because of your natural look, that's a problem. And that has nothing to do with you being loud. That whole loud part that you threw in there, no. If it's coming back to you negative because you saying white women, loud white women don't get thrown out there, oh, I know why you don't know loud white women, because they stay in their place. And the one thing you'll never see a loud white woman do, ever, is disrespect a white man. Sisters, have you ever seen a white woman disrespect a white man in public? Nope. They know better. They most definitely know better. They don't do that. No. They'll complain and scoff. But being disrespectful, trust me, I live here. I'm in Valhalla. They know better. They don't do that. This is the boldness of foolishness.
Too hood. But when white folks turn around and cosplay and do the same thing, that same behavior, it's authentic, it's quirky, and it's shared and it's celebrated. Same behavior.
Hold on. You got out here talking about black folks, and then you switch. Did you peep that switch? Because what she's talking about is white people accepting the dirt that white people are doing. That is not a Black American male issue, ma'am. Look how, did you see that? Okay, she's talking about us, right? So why is it deemed the same? She immediately jumped into another conversation while holding on to us. Oh, no, ma'am. Oh, back that up, ma'am. Yeah, that's clever trickery there.
Folks turn around and cosplay and do the same thing, that same behavior. It's relatable, it's authentic, it's quirky, and it's this backlash isn't about who they think is allowed to lead.
What does that have to do with black men? You ignorantly put black men in this conversation because you couldn't allow yourself to condemn your white establishment without throwing us in there for no good reason. What the hell did black men have to do with Jasmine Crockett losing? Well, I say tear her down. And then what she says is she morphs into what's socially accepted by white people while trying to use us to catapult to that argument. Ma'am, leave us the hell out of your problem with white people. You didn't like how they did your sis. That got nothing to do with us. Ooh-wee. That was so... You're sick, ma'am.
And until we stop internalizing white superiority and projecting it back on Black women, we'll keep sabotaging our own race and our own.
I swear. How that makes sense? we ain't internalizing the damn thing. We telling you why we don't rock with that. Because we come from an existence to where, number one, I come from where women would tell women, you can't go out in that. Like, y'all remember a few years ago where they were all mad at the one sister that be on X. She's part of the nation. She's actually, I believe, either Haitian or something like that, or Dominican, one of the two. But she's, she's been solid and she's never hid what she is. Okay, I see where I'm going. She never hid what she is. So she's always kept it above. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm not FBA. But she, being part of the nation, started a modesty movement. Do you know that these pictures and videos were being flagged? So Black women taking it upon themselves to show themselves in class under this modesty hashtag. These photos were being reported as like something negative or like racial threats and stuff like that. Black women demonstrating modesty and flaunting modesty. Shahrazad Ali, actually, I believe the sister Tamora actually did a space with her. So, because I've done space like that. Tamora's been in our space. Matter of fact, when I did the space for Ava Muhammad, she was in there. So, like, we've dealt with the nation, of course. Shout out to Brother King Cam and Brother Ben X. These are, like, especially King Cam, these are other people who, especially him, help further this new Black media message. And salute to the NOI, and, I've had long-standing relationship with them. And man, it's our community is just so great. Yeah, Loretta said, I saw those videos and it was beautiful, covered up and classy. Church said, I'm not surprised. My first TikTok page was banned for Black love. Y'all, they were doing that with the Black family. They were doing the same thing with the Black family photos. Like, yo, there's something to this, man. These people do not like seeing us being one with each other in positivity, love, and solidarity. And like, how are we going to be able to get along with anybody else unless we first can get along with ourselves? And they be upset with that. Like, that's crazy. So let me play a couple more of these weird tether videos. And then I'm going to bring one home because, see, there must be a rift in the DNC strategic zones and some people are paying attention. And there's something that they produced that might have went under the radar, but we're going to get to that. But first, I have to deal with what is currently moving and being promoted throughout the DNC against foundational Black Americans. And so, I guess, which one do I want to hit? Because both of these are about, I'll start here. This is a shorter one. Oh, woo, get ready, folks. Get ready.
Because we know the attacks is going to come her way. Tenfold what she's already getting. It already ain't safe for her. She's received death threats, but fuck all that. Y'all want Black women to be your social justice mammies. You want Black women to be your punching bag when you ain't got the balls to go after who you need to. Do y'all know they've been snatching up U.S. citizens? Do you know ICE has been snatching up U.S. citizens? And now they're targeting continental skin folks. So what do you think that means? For you can't help somebody else when your house is on fucking fire. And y'all use Israel. This is like the little thing that y'all hold over folks' heads, even though you ain't done your research.
The brilliant thing about our movement is one of the same brilliant reasons why none of y'all ever bring up Great Millstone. You guys will talk trash against every other Hebrew Israelite group on the planet. But when it comes down to Great Millstone, this infallible doctrine here seems to be the one that everybody avoids. And when I see certain people come out here and they say certain things, this lets me know, well, somebody got something going on and they must be right because they don't want any of you to hear anything from them. But what they will do is give you the people that they know are fallible. And so, well, y'all ain't did your research. You were talking to the most historically sound group of people. So when we ain't rocking with something, we're very historically sound, ma'am. So much so that we know she has never worked on a real true civil rights case. She worked with Lee Merritt, but she does not have a career in civil rights. She does, however, have a career of what they call ambulance chasers. Those attorneys that get you settlements. I get you your money, man. She like Vern Funk. If you guys from out here, you guys know who Vern Funk is. Spider, are you here? Yeah, there you are, Spider. She like Vern Funk.
On Jasmine Crockett. You've had plenty of time to do your homework on her. The same way you did with Kamala. Y'all protested this woman to death. Trump's in office. Y'all got quiet as shit. The minute Kamala went on her book tour, what the fuck did y'all do? You been up at her book protesting her. She's not the president.
I'm sorry. The way they wrote Trump's name into it is how people use black folks. Like, you just bring names up and then, man, what about this? Oh, goodness. Jasmine Crockett and Kamala treatment. Kamala Harris never won a campaign. Jasmine Crockett tried to run a campaign without a campaign manager. And as her not being a Texan, she didn't elect to actually get a Texan to manage her campaign. Somebody with connection to the soil. She's such an ego freaking maniac narcissist that in Texas, she would run a video just showing herself and Trump talking about her nonstop and thought that was going to be enough to get something done with Texans. Are you kidding? So out of touch. Yeah, she like Vern Funk, Spider. She gonna be on the billboard. Do you remember his commercials? He don't do them commercials no more. He tried to run a more respectable office. Say, I will run for office in Washington without an FBA from the West Coast. Oh man. I mean, this shit is so crazy, man.
Y'all so scared of white supremacists, you will keep protesting somebody that ain't even in power anymore. Explain to me how that shit works. That's why I can't take none of y'all serious. You protested her at a book tour. Again, a book tour. Kamala is a civilian.
No, she's part of the DNC. And so, yeah, they came at her at a book tour, and it wasn't black people that were there protesting her at the book tour. Why do they keep throwing black people into where white folks are showing up? Y'all protested her? Black folks weren't. See, that's so crazy. The things they throw us in there like we got something to do with something. We ain't got nothing to do with that. When white women. I don't know who that is, church. Somebody that eat too much shellfish. Anyway, let's keep going, bro. Yeah, she clearly eats too much shellfish.
Oh, God, I gotta wipe my face in a minute. But I'm gonna let myself feel it. And give yourself grace. Because as a black woman, we don't get that. But it's extremely hard to continue to feel like this. Michelle Obama said something. And she said, I would never run. Because y'all are not going to be ready for a black woman. And as somebody who continues to push, like, I have the degrees, I have all the accolades, I could do the job.
Now, this is kind of funny. I mean, I'm not trying to be effed up here or nothing like that, but I'm from the Pacific Northwest. This girl is mixed. If you guys couldn't tell. I see mixed girls like this all the time. You might look at her and be like, oh, she's kind of dark. Her mother's white. And I'm no, but we're kind of overdoing it here, ma'am. Because what you could be doing is talking about your treatment amongst your own family members. Because she's going to sit up here in front of y'all and act like, oh no, what are you talking about? How was you treated by your mama people? Gonna come over here. It's a black woman. Knock it off.
I see why. For people who don't give a fuck. It's so hard. Why would I vote for James Tallarico, a white county, and we are the highest county?
You know, you would vote for Tallarico because he's your party's candidate. But with all of this crying, I just can't help but notice all of these people are literally crying about the party they live, eat, sleep, crap, and die for. And they are Republican. And I'm just so, but we have been saying this is. And yes, Jasmine Crockett is completely out of politics now. Remember how they were saying she is the face of the new regime in politics. And just like that, she became a broken tool.
For black maternal death, what the fuck that white man gonna do for us? Not a damn thing. He doesn't understand the struggles it is to be a black woman here in Texas. He doesn't understand that. But instead, he was the safest choice for white people because they're not ready to fight. They're not understanding how serious this shit is. And so they picked the safer white option. And they continue.
See, here's the reason why she's not the best equipped to have this conversation. Because she's mixed, she is in denial about how white supremacy works. And she believes, see, there are levels to white supremacy. And she perceives that Klan level white supremacy is so greatly, vastly different than liberal parental white supremacy. So she, being a child of a Caucasian, she says, well, my mom's not like that because she married my dad. The system of supremacy got diminished by your mother marrying your dad. Nothing. And now there is the lesson of reality of how white supremacy works. Your mama had you, slept with a black man, and white supremacy rolls on, and the effect doesn't change. See how that works?
To do that all throughout history, and that is why America is not going to make it to 250 years.
I wish I knew.
They're not going to make it past 250 years because you keep playing the game safely.
Now, let's go back. See, okay. So the question that the spider asked is, what is she crying for? The reason that she's crying is because this is the realization that she didn't want to realize. Because deep down in her heart, all the things that probably been said to her or the things she's experienced from her own family, this is giving her reaffirming to her that it's not just the subtleties that she sees in her family, but this is an overall thing. So she's wrestling with the feeling amongst herself. That's why she's doing all of this crying, because she's basically saying, I'm heartbroken because I wasn't certain, but all of my people are actually still pretty tied to the system of supremacy. And she's having a hard time coping with
it. When the game is not meant to be played safely. It's meant for soldiers, and you picked a bitch. I will not be voting for James Tallarico. I am good on it. I will not be picking another white man to represent me when they know nothing about the struggles that we face in this motherfucking city.
Why would you think they would know anything about what you go through? How are they supposed to know what you go through, ma'am? They're not there. They're the ones, well, you believe they're to sympathize with what you go through. Trying to fail yourself. You know, you do. You just kind of fail yourself there. She voted for Biden? No, I bet she did. And And here's one. Let's see what else. In a different video, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that in something else. So one last thing I'm gonna play. I need white supremacy. I need you to come to the front. And I need y'all to check this video out here.
What makes them American? Because they've been here.
They've been here and they've fought in every single war since our country's founding, and regardless of the color of their skin. Sure, that doesn't change the fact that the individual who lost their life or who sacrificed doesn't change that fact. I mean, proportionally, Black men are only 13% of the population.
Make that observation and not just count that out.
Well, you can make the observation. It doesn't make it, it's an observation. It's empirically true, but look, if you're someone from Sweden or from South Africa, and you're white and you come here and you've been here for 2 years and you are on an H-1B visa, you are not more American than a Black American or a white American who's been here for 5 or 6 generations.
We don't have to align ourselves with legitimacy. Because you see these dumbfounded morons over here? Yeah. Dumbfounded idiots. Hey, I don't understand. Wait a minute. Yeah, they had to find out who's really American and not your fleeing immigrant white tether self. So you ain't from the soil there. Well, it's kind of reserved for white. No, that's white supremacy that you're talking about. That's the supremacist element that you are referring to there, sir. There's that. Oh, there is another video I want to play. Let me before I play the last one, actually. And I'm gonna just let this video run because this dude did a nice, good take. Yeah, he did a nice, good take on this. So I want to just kind of let homie go. Where we at? Why is it showing up different here? Bear with me here. I have to see. I hate when it changes up the view from window to window. So now I have to look for this thing a different way. There it is. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Should be uploading here. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to play this video full on, and then we're going to get ready to get out of here. And I'm going to play this last little video that y'all are tripping, or that, that had me tripping out. And y'all got to see this. But first,
data shows the Latino vote was the tipping point that pushed James Tallarico to victory over Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Crockett did extremely well with the Black vote. I'm sure she did. Mainly probably with the Black woman that showed up just because she's sassy. They ain't give a fuck that she was voting against women's rights and she fought so hard for trans and illegal immigrants, right? Speaking of illegal immigrants that you fought so hard for, you was acting like you cared about them and you was fighting for them because you cared. But the Latino people was listening to every word you was saying, and you was saying a whole lot of disrespectful shit about them. Like this.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
Wait. The disrespectful thing that he's finna get into is I want y'all to really key in on what she's about to say, because he makes a very good point about how she's while trying to uplift one group, she's tearing down the other group, but she needs to work this balance of power that she's doing. So you kind of say one thing that disparages immigrants on one hand, and then you turn around and say something on the other, disparage America for the immigrant. Texas. I just don't, but she thought that this was going to be the answer. Whoever is giving the Democrats information is absolutely a failure, dude.
You're not. We done picking cotton. Good enough to find a plantation.
How many of you are sending your kids to college to go and work on them? Okay. Well, guess who is working the parts? Now, how many after this college education so they can go and make the beds at the hotels? How many of you are planning to send your kids to college? Because that's what we do here. We send everybody to college. How many of you are planning to send your kids to college so that they then go and build these houses? So the reality is that so long as we live in a capitalist society, there's always going to be someone or a group of people that will do work that's to remake right in this country.
The tongue is the mighty sword, Jasmine. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Talk less and listen more. You said a whole lot of disrespectful shit, but you was acting like you cared about them, but they was reading between the lines. They heard everything. You basically was saying the only reason why you want them here is to be slaves. How disrespectful. Coming from a black woman who always think black people with slavery and all that, but yet you just keep speaking like only reason why you want them here is to make our beds and to pick our crops and to do all the dirty work that we're not doing. Pick cotton and shit like that. Disrespectful. They heard every word. The tongue is the mighty sword and it buried you. Remember that.
Got the ghetto gospel.
Shout out to Gotham's Ghetto Gospel. Man. And so in this conversation, you know, this is the cost, man, of ignoring the Black Grassroots and New Black Media, thinking that you can get in touch with the Black community while combating the Black community. We are the ones entrenched in this thing. You guys have been sitting in your ivory tower. And so now, for all of the agents that you want to send amongst us, they will always quickly be sniffed out. Because that's just what type of time we are now. We are defending this movement. And for the powers that be, you might want to get rid of your shills. All of the FBA is this, how much more money do you want to spend on do-nothing shills that can't yield you any results? This thing is a done deal, baby. So you can boss up. Say what they say. You could lose all your money. a double up, fall off, or bubble up. We going up, 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 up. Shout out to the Lifesavers family, if you guys didn't know. But let me play you a little bit of this clip here. Actually, I'm going to play you the full clip, and we're going to talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, girl, that's how they are. The Americans are so lazy and entitled. Excuse me? Hold on, how did you get in my conversation? But that's on my phone.
You're in my shop, my country. You can take your ass on back where you came from.
Keisha, let me call you back. Listen, the only reason I'm in your stupid country is to make money, then go back home to Jamaica. Y'all girls have no ambition. Y'all want to be city girls. Instead of going to school and go look at real work, or to pretend like you got a little business and really selling pum pum. You need to just focus on my makeup, because your life is sad.
What's sad is you can't even go to the beaches in your own country. That's why you came to America. I heard Jamaicans, they only see a resort when they work there. Yeah, truth is, I look good. And the men in America, they rather pay for this than they ever see me work.
Dirty girl, you wish. Nobody is paying for that stink-ass cat. The only reason you get money from men is because you eat ass. You think I didn't hear you on the phone when I walked in?
Bitch, I use sweet cookie wash and oil. I'm real sweet. And all my clients billionaires. Maybe if you learn to eat ass, you could buy one of those hotels back that you can't go to.
Oh my God.
But instead, you sitting in my country talking shit.
I'd rather be talking shit than eating shit.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Girl, please, sit down. Look at it. So you heard the man on the phone for real?
No. So your client's really billionaires?
No.
The makeup came out nice, even though they do it cheaper and better in Jamaica.
Girl, the total's $150.
I'll tip you if you tell me about the sweet cookie titty thing. I zelled you already, wicked gal.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the heart.
Okay, so they push their little whatever. Shout out to their business. But the fact that they literally use the fake diaspora award to promote a product. This is where we are now. And YouTube, I'm gonna need all 7,500 views to show up when this live ends. Because I'm just like, there's 7,000, so 7,500 views to this live stream. I don't know if they're gonna actually show the real numbers, but that's where we're at. Yeah, they're trying to really find ways to. They're also trying to find ways to monetize our situation as well, because it's not going away. So they're trying to figure out, well, what do we do? So that they just turned them a little kind of commercial out of the whole situation. But at the end of the day, people know that because of the code, nobody is going to be able to come out here talking all crazy, and then it's going to get a hold of the masses, and people are going to start following this person because, wow, man, we do need to give up that reparations, huh? Yeah, man, what's wrong with us, man? We talking all this reparations talk. Man, we don't need no reparations. So, trying to be mindful of a lot of the things that they're doing, because we have to be mindful that they are paying so much detailed attention to each and every one of us. And this Texas race is, I believe, going to set them on a path. Number one, they're going to have to double down on fighting delineation, because delineation at this point is causing them votes. Have y'all noticed that they mention independent now when talking about politics? They literally mention independent now. So because before they would just be like Democrats and Republicans, it's a two-party system, two-party. Right now, what you hear every day now is DNC, RNC, independent. They might even mention independent first. You've never seen that. You've never seen a time when, and this is with the Green Party and all of that, they ain't got the juice. 91 mother freaking million is not anything to sneeze at. And you damn straight that we are the lead when it comes to voting for the couch. Silence does actually speak louder than words on occasion. And I think we have shown the world that. I think this is why we are seeing what we are seeing. When you had those people saying that Black Lives Matter is the biggest problem to Israel, it's not Black Lives Matter, it's young Black American us. This generation that has another generation of children under our tutelage. They got nothing coming in the ways of cowering coons. You know what I'm saying? That day is gone, baby, and never coming back. Nah, for the ones that y'all wanted to kill, we are actually the life birds. We're the ones that like being husbands and fathers. Because we came from the generation of abandonment. And so we understand the value of family. We respect the value of community. And exercise our God-given right to speak up for our people and to fight for our people and to make sure that we are no longer denied. So in declaring a civil rights icon, let us keep this in mind. One dies, another one continues. And so is the story of Black empowerment. You have to bring along more and hit your numbers. At this point, in this stage of Black empowerment, we are the loud megaphones. We are the loud positions of our community to be heard. However, we represent something much greater than ourselves. And when you see 80% of Black folks staying home in Texas, have you noticed how a lot of the tethers disparaging foundational Black American lessons for the last 48 hours? Somebody is waking up to a problem. And it also shows with that number, you actually can win. No table, no vote. Time to cut the check for real. And that is the cost of ignoring the Black grassroots and new Black media. And I would like to tell you, as my band, the Duty Funk, says, and I say this as a banner statement for who we are over here in the Black grassroots. And that just simply says, put your money in the bag, because we got this bag. You'll go broke if you don't wanna put your money on us. Put your money in the bag, because we got this bagged up. Like the green in the 20s of the green and purple lovely stuff. Put your money on us. Put your money on us. Your other alternative is enjoy the world of the 2/3. Because Babylon is fallen. Babylon fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeed. Couch 2028. Man, they in trouble, B. They in trouble. And they know it. They know it. And so now they got to try to figure out a way to give something for nothing. But 80% of Black Texans. Yes, we got to go back to the drawing board. You see my home state? Yeah, your home state went against you, nigga. Hey, Roland, home state. How that working out for you, player? Because one thing that you don't forget, or that Roland forgets, your family ain't based out of America. Ours is. There is a Whitmore territory down there in Tyler, Texas, where she took her ass to. Think you're gonna show us and you finna go take your perk? Now, granted, I do got a hell of a lot of boule in my family. I will not front there. But as far as us, especially my grandmother's, man, we don't do that. And we were taught early not to be part of that. And as I grew up as an adult, I see why we were taught that. Yeah, we're not gonna be part of no society because we're not finna sell our folks out. I bet Roland's crashing out. You already know we crashing out. Because that means that the lane for just Blake Shield, that thing is drying up. And it's us that could we stop everything. They would be putting money into a lot more shit unless it was for us. If it wasn't for us, somebody else would still be getting paid to be like a sellout. But because we exist, their thing is drying up. You're rolling punching the air right now. And yeah, because he does it. See, this is what he's so pissed off at. He will never be us. Our families go back to this generations. Our families are married, intertwined. We got cousins upon cousins upon cousins up in here. And they don't know who the hell related to who. We're a completely different situation, man. They just calling them shit and they separating. What are you talking about? We're all family, dummy. Welcome to America, bitch. Where most of these Black people happen to be blood kin. We are fantastic, folks. You make sure you tell yourself that. You make sure you don't ever let these people tell you what you are. You come from a people that have done something no one else could do. You are the offspring of people who had the worst conditions ever. But yet, their spirit lives on through us. You owe a duty to that. Don't ever let anybody tell you overlook that. To look to Wakanda. Nah. Them people who are going through hell here, that's nothing to run from. It's everything to embrace. Let that fill your day. And you look through at this world through those eyes. That way you'll never be fooled who your friends are. Only time to be fooled when your friends are people of your own. That's life. But I mean, these other people will get out here, cry and sob over a party that has no one that looks like them in power. But while dedicating their lives, family's lives to this organization that says, hey, you know what? This is in my best interest to move you and your family and your community out of your neighborhood because my friends want to make money. And somehow these people have found themselves to make excuses for that behavior against their own people. And we are the people to say we are not going to allow that to happen anymore. And let Jesse Jackson be a sign of a shift. That cowering, buffooning, cooning, go along, get along thing is dying. And delineation is here to stay. And I understand. Some of you might have a problem with it. But if you really, truly believe you can fight it and stop it, well, I'll speak for myself. beatzillapdx official and the independent Black voice. Those of you in the chat and the replay gang, salute to you. The Black Grassroots, of course, the ones being ignored. And also the voices of new Black media. I'm sure I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, family. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you could definitely do so at CashApp, $beatzillapdx. Also, we have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And so with that being said, we are about ready to get out of here. You said scammers, or would that be Scamala? Scamala. Scamala or Scamala? I want to say it correctly. Scamala's political career is done. She needs to get mad at Obama for ruining her chances. Facts. Just like whoever's trying to come behind Trump, boy, your man is burning down there. I hope MAGA understands. Trump just gives a shit about himself, and he's trying to keep himself in prison. So if he can stretch this out into his dying days, that's what he's going to do. So then, he ain't going to be able to find a way to stretch this out into no martial law. That ain't going to happen. But most definitely he's going to put things in place and try to get enough Democrats out of place to cover himself. So that's just is what it is. Democrats, you want any kind of answers, time to start talking to the Black Grassroots, time to start talking to new Black media. I don't know what to say, because don't show up after Republicans talking about we being used. No, we're the independents over here. So on the independent side of the game, both parties have ample space to sit up here and entertain this particular voting block. That's 91 million people. I think somebody better come and call it. With that being said, family, remember why
it's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the flow. You really got to do it. 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
So at 7,500 views for this particular live stream, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm probably sure that hopefully they'll do the right thing and YouTube shows the right stats and shows the right numbers. But right now we should be at about 7,600 views for this live. So if it's not showing or reflecting that, then I just want you to just know that this is what happens to old Beatzilla over here. So when you speak the real and you speak the truth and you ask, they know that you know what the hell you saying, this is what happens. I've told y'all I've worked behind the veil, not bullshitting you. So with that being said, family, until next time, y'all keep y'all 3 smooth stones at the ready and your slingshot nearby. You understand me? Y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Y'all have a blessed weekend and a blessed week. Peace.
So if any black people want reparations
and want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about
tethers,
trying to be all in the videos,
speaking for black people,
dancing,
come to New Black Media and the Black Grassroots. Peace.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.
Thank you.